everybody, welcome back to Queen Eats. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all packed and prepped in mason jars. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family. Hopefully we can reach a lot of people and it can inspire a lot of you guys to start incorporating mason jars into your regular routine. And make sure you guys are subscribed so you guys never miss out on future videos from me. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and grab our first mason jar here. Mine look like this and they are just the regular ball mason jars. Mine came in a pack of 4 for about $5 at Walmart. So for video purposes, I'm just going to show you guys how I fill 2 of the mason jars at a time. So as you guys can see, I'm pouring half a cup of gluten-free rolled oats into each jar. After that, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of chia seeds. Now I'm going in with 1 teaspoon of coconut sugar. After that, I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of melted peanut butter, and I melted it just because it makes it a lot easier to combine everything when it's time to mix everything together. So I'm going ahead and pouring in 1 tablespoon of peanut butter to each of the mason jars. This is some organic cacao powder. One of my mason jars, or one of my overnight oats rather, is going to be chocolate peanut butter, so I just put a tablespoon of that in one of them. And last but not least, I'm pouring in 1 full cup of almond milk. At this point, you want to go ahead and add both of your jar tops onto them. Make sure that you secure them tightly. And now we're just going to take them and give them a very vigorous shake so that way everything can be nice and combined. And these are just going to be put in the refrigerator overnight. The next morning, it looks something like this. As you can see, the oats have soaked up all of the liquid. So what we're going to do is go ahead and open this up and mix it up just a little bit. Now this step is most definitely optional, but for me personally, before I head out the door, I like to mix it up a little bit and add my toppings, and that way I'm just good to go for when I'm ready to eat. So I stirred it up a little bit, and now I'm going to pour on some defrosted mixed berries. These are majority blackberries and some cherries. And then after that, I'm adding on this chocolate sea salt probiotic granola by Purely Elizabeth. It is amazing, you guys. And here you go. You have your first option for your overnight oats. This is like a mixed berry granola overnight oats. And all you have to do is go ahead and put the jar top back on and you're ready to walk straight out the door. So another option that you have, which is personally my favorite, is to go ahead and take it out of the refrigerator, and before adding your toppings, just heat it up in the microwave for about 30 seconds so it's a little bit warm. Not too warm, but just a little bit. And then I'm going ahead and I'm adding some raspberries on the top, some fresh raspberries at that. These are just so amazing. I absolutely love raspberries. They're so fresh and they're so awesome, especially really just anytime during the year. And then I'm going to go ahead and put on some of this toasted coconut granola from Trader Joe's. This is amazing as well. I don't know which one I like better between this one and the probiotic, but they're both really good. And then last but not least, I took some more melted peanut butter and I just drizzled it right over the top. And here we go. Here's our second option, you guys. These toppings go good on whether it's the chocolate combination or the regular peanut butter combination. And as you can see, all you have to do is go ahead and put it in your lunchbox, maybe add an apple or a banana in there, and don't forget your spoon, and you are good to go. So this was a really fun one, you guys. As usual, we're going to start, anytime we start at the stove, we're going to add our avocado oil. I did about a tablespoon. And now I'm adding 1 whole white onion in there, as well as 2 cloves of minced garlic. Let's go ahead and give that a nice turn through. We're going to just go ahead and saute all of this until the onions are nice and translucent. Our meat of choice for this recipe is the Lightlife Smart Ground Meatless Original Crumbles. I just took it and opened it and started crumbling it in the onion and garlic mixture like you see me doing here. Really simple, really straight to the point. Just crumble it with your fingers and this is going to resemble our ground beef, but no animals were harmed in the making of this recipe. Now that it's all broken up, we're gonna go ahead and mix it all together so that the onions and the garlic and the meat substitute can be all well combined. And so I'm gonna go ahead and put my top on right now just so it can heat through for about 60 seconds. After that, it's time to add our seasoning. I'm using the taco seasoning mix from McCormick, but you can totally add whatever seasonings you want. Since it's a taco salad, I just figured why not, right? I'm also taking about 2 tablespoons-ish, maybe even 1.5 or so, and just pouring that in there as well to help me kind of mix it through. We have made it to our assembling portion, so you want to start by putting a couple tablespoons of salsa into the bottom of your jar. After that, I dropped in some grape tomatoes. Then we're going to do our black beans, maybe about 3 tablespoons or so. Got to add that protein in there. Next up, I added some red onion because I love red onion. Then we have the organic corn. Now we want to add in our meat substitute, and don't be afraid of filling that bad boy up, you guys. Believe it or not, these jars hold a lot of food. After that, I'm going ahead and adding on some chopped avocado. And you want to give it a little squeeze of lime just so that when it's stored in the refrigerator, it doesn't turn brown. And now the last part, you want to go ahead and stuff in your lettuce. I'm using romaine. Go ahead and push it right down in there, you guys. These can hold a lot of food. Then just add your tops on like you would normally do. Make sure that they're nice and secure. And you guys can add whatever combination of vegetables or meats or whatever that you want. And there you go, you have your taco salad lunch for however many days you decide to meal prep for. But these turned out so amazing, you guys. Definitely my favorite meal. So here's a quick look at our lineup for our third and final recipe. We have some leeks, some red bell peppers, red onions, a butternut squash, and some vegetable broth. So there's a little bit of prep work that we got to do. I'm going to start by chopping the leeks up and just cut everything into about 1-inch pieces, you guys. Next up, we have our red onion. Once again, just removing that outer layer. And we're going to dice that into 1-inch pieces as well. Next up, we have our red bell pepper. Same kind of thing, guys. I think you're getting the point here, right? And now it's time to get into our butternut squash, right? So I'm removing the label here and just cutting off a little bit of the top and the bottom and discarding of those scraps there. We have no use for those. And then I'm going to go ahead and separate the thicker part from the slimmer part. So I'm cutting those off and then sectioning it off into 3 more pieces, if that makes sense. So I found the easiest way for me to peel it is just to go ahead and take a sharp knife and kind of cut around the perimeter of each section that I cut, just like you see me doing now. A lot of people use, or not a lot, but some people use potato peelers. That did not do anything for me. So I just took my knife and cut it off just like you see me doing here. So one more time, I'm thinly cutting around the perimeter of each of my sections here. You don't want to cut super thick pieces because you don't want to cut a lot of the flesh off. So I'm just cutting around it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you're going to finish cutting off the pieces here, or the skin I should say, and dice into 1-inch pieces. When I got to the bottom section here, I just kind of split it in half and used a spoon to really dig out the inward flesh of it. You don't really want to have any of the stringy pieces in there either. Otherwise, they'll end up in your soup and that's not very appetizing. So now that everything is perfectly diced and transferred into a bowl, I'm taking some more of my avocado oil and pouring that over all of my vegetables. I'm being pretty generous as well. I did about 2.5 tablespoons or so. And now we're going in with our seasoning. So I did a little bit of salt. And here you see me doing some dried rosemary. This smells so good when roasting, you guys. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and do a small sprinkle of some crushed red pepper flakes because I like heat in my soups. Then I'm going in with some ground cumin and then this spicy island curry that my sister got me from the Bahamas. But any curry powder would do at this point, so I'm doing a few sprinkles of that in there. And then lastly, I'm going in with some fresh parsley. Go ahead and give everything a very generous mix up, you guys. You want everything to be nice and coated in the oil and in all the spices so they can roast nice and evenly and be seasoned well and all that good stuff. To a roasting dish, we're just going to transfer everything over, spread it into a thin layer, and this is going to go in the oven at 425 for 30 minutes. And this is what they look like fresh out of the oven. When I tell you guys my house smelled like Christmas, Thanksgiving, summertime, and spring all at the same time. I'm not even kidding you. I'm going to go ahead and transfer everything into my blender like you see me doing here. And then we're going to take some veggie broth, give it a shake, and pour that in there as well. I poured about 2.5 cups to start, and then we blend. And we blend some more. And we blend some more. After doing a taste test and adjusting your seasonings as needed, we're going to go ahead and take our mason jars and just begin pouring our soup in there. We're going to add our tops back on our jars like so. And ta-da! We have our roasted butternut squash soup securely stored in our mason jars. And that's all there is to it, you guys. Alright guys, that's all there is to it. I had so much fun filming this video. I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed it. Once again, if you did, please make sure that you guys give it a big thumbs up for me. Share it with your friends and family, and also make sure that you guys are subscribed. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!